years old as well. So it's great that we've got such youngsters coming into the sport. I was very surprised because I thought with, this abstract virtual world, they would struggle to get up to speed. But no, we're not seeing that at all. And these youngsters are adapting super quickly.
Okay, that's the Hungaroring Grand Prix, ERGP Global Edition, Copper class. It is round 2 of 3, so this is the midway point of the season. It's a 15-minute sprint race. Keith Moe on the front row of the grid, but Hayden Miller from Scotland, from Singapore, Scotland. Here's the man who is leading the way. It'll be Miller in the red and blue. Moe alongside him as the red lights go off. We are now underway. The sprint is good. Moe has got off to a strong start, but so has Miller. And behind them, Zulhaili also there. So it's a pretty smooth start for all of the front men. And there's a bit of space there as Moe tries to go round the outside. Miller just has to be careful, but he holds the line nicely as they bunch up behind him. But everybody has got through turn 1 nice and safely. Hayden Miller it is who takes the lead.
Yeah, as they come down the turn 2. Well, Moe looking to the inside, that is optimistic there. He has to be careful. He's super young, and I know his father, Rick, will be in his ear saying, take it easy. Let's not push it too far. I'm so astonished. When they're this young, I normally expect them to have more errors and hit other cars, but being very well behaved at the moment, and it's allowing Hayden Miller to just get away at the front.
How about the men who are leading the overall championship? We're on board with Shafiq Danish in P6, and going very wide was Danish Aram. Danish Aram actually lost 4 or 5 places just because he was forced out super wide. He is just the man behind Shafiq Danish, focusing on him because he's the championship leader. But the race leader, Hayden Miller, has got off to a super start and has burst out into a 0.6 of a second lead already.
Wow, that's super impressive. It's only his second race ever. I know he's been coming down and practicing a lot, but super impressed with the maturity of this young driver.
2 drivers who did well last week who were struggling at the start here. Ronaldo Julie from 5 Speed Racing. He's down in P18 at the moment, and even worse is Sharik. So Sharik was unable to put a time together for there he is just in the silver FSA racing car. He was unable to put a time together in qualification, and that means he's got to come right away from the back of a very congested field.
Yeah, this is a young driver that we really earmarking that could have a future here. Obviously, we talked about doing this laps in qualifying. He was unable to do it, starting right from the very back. Let's see what sort of pace he can do. It's a good chance for him to practice his racecraft, I have to say.
Up at the front, though, Hayden Miller stretches into a lead. Zuhaili is making a move on Keith Moe. Moe closes the door, but Zuhaili has got the inside line on corner 1 and 2. Keith Moe's just got the speed, though, but Zuhaili is still trying to get there. This time, Moe will have the inside line. The switchback attempted by Zuhaili in P3. This time, again, Moe again close to the door. For one so young, he's nice and aggressive in his defensive work. Behind them, Chris Chu, still going good pace, and Chris Chu makes a move on him on Zuhaili.
Chris Chu looking to the outside in the black car, but he's not going to do it there. You can't go around the outside of turn 4. And he lives for now. He survives at the moment, but still plenty of the race to go. 12 minutes to go, and Chris Chu there looking very fighting for.
Again, just to take us back to the front, look at the lead that Hayden is putting out. He's in copper, and I know what you think when somebody dominates a race. He's in a class C, should be in a class above. That could well mean he gets moved out.
Ooh. Yeah, as he goes really wide. Yeah, showing good pace. I don't think there's any danger of moving up a class yet because you can see by his racecraft, he still needs more experience before we can move him up to bronze. But what a great race 3 it is. I mean, well, it's race 1 today, but it's his 3rd race overall. Leading from the front and showing some great composure. Now, into turn 13. We're in the last sector of the lap, only 2 more corners to go. And Miller there showing the way. Coming out of turn 13. 1 more corner to go to end the lap. 11 minutes, 20 seconds ago. Let's not also look at tire wear. Tire wear's at ×2, fuel's at ×2 as well, so they'll have to watch out.
But he's not been in any trouble whatsoever. He's been on track, and he's put an invalid time there, so obviously 1 or 2 track limits have been questioned. Chris Stewart has posted a 1:52.805. Behind him, John McGregor, a 1:52.7. Behind him, how about that? Armand, who's a new man to me. Armand Hashim, a privateer. He has posted a 1:51.8, which so far is the fastest lap in the race.
fastest lap in the race indeed.
Sharik is making a move, by the way. Sharik is currently in P19, trying to overtake Ronaldo Julie. Both impressed last week in a short season. You can't afford to have a bad race, though. And that is what is happening to both of these. Ahead of them, you've got Jaden Young, and Shafiq Danish is also struggling. He's down in P7. Armand Hashim in front of him, but Shafiq at last seems to be getting to grips with things. He did have a slowdown penalty, so he just had to be cautious for a little while. I think that allowed Armand to overtake him as they go through the chicane, turn 6 and 7 at the top end of the circuit. Shafiq Danish, championship leader, tries to put the pressure on. Grant Miller is further behind them, but at the front, I tell you what, in P10 also struggling is Danish Aram. He really has had problems. He was in P6, was forced wide and has not been able to force his way through. This time he's got Azmi Arifin in front of him. They are side by side, and Danish tries to bundle his way through and does exactly that. Azmi is forced off the line, didn't like that, retaliates with a little bit of damage of his own. Well, that's a good little battle. They are literally wheel to wheel there, and Azmi Arifin is not giving anything to Danish Aram.
No, it's looking close indeed. But yeah, not a good day for the Danish boys. They will start. They need to try and move up a bit more for the championship. You know, championship is what's mattering to them. You know, they really want to try and win the Copper class in this global edition. But it's not all lost for them, because let's not forget, race 2 is a reverse grid race, and if my memory serves me correct, I think it's top 15 reverse
top
today.
15. It was 10 last week, so 15 this week. Fair enough. That's good. But we'll focus on this one here. This is remarkable. You don't see 2.5 second leads inside the first half of a race normally in Copper.
No, you don't. But it's kind of stabilized, hasn't it? It looks like Keith Moore stabilized the gap. He seems to have got a little bit of daylight between him and Zuhaili as well. But wow, you know, if he finishes second, that's going to be incredible.
Chris Chu in P4. And he's got ahead of John McGregor. Armand is going backwards. Shafiq versus Armand is a good little battle with Grant Miller. Is that Dad? Is that Hayden's dad?
That's Dad.
So Grant's in P8.
He's having a much better race. I was scared he didn't put a lap in qualifying again, because it looked like he had messed up his 2 runs, but he somehow got a lap just at the end there to qualify in mid-pack, and he's showing some good pace there. Looking, I mean, Grant and Hayden are always practicing together, father and son. It's good father-son activity to do, really. And, ooh, he's looking quick. God, he can't overtake in the next corner, can he? Unless he can get alongside. If you try and send one down the inside from too far away, you always end up colliding with the car in front. Better he just be a little bit patient, try and make Danish defend into the last corner. If you can make Danish defend into the last corner, then he might be able to get him into turn 1. But no, Danish has done a great job through the penultimate corners, pulled out a bit of daylight right now, and Grant is not close enough at the moment.
We'll come back to that in just a while. Keith Modo coming under pressure from Imran Zuhaili as they go on to lap 5. Caden Miller is miles clear. He's out of shot. He's already taken the corner, as this time Imran Zuhaili goes on the inside of Keith Moe. Moe is forced outside. Keith Moe gets a slowdown penalty for abuse of track limits and now has lost a place as well. Is he able just to retake it back? Yeah, he's got the inside track, the inside line. Good battle between Imran and Keith Moe. Imran forced really, really wide, and Keith Moe, he's still got that slowdown penalty to serve though, Alex.
Yeah, good composure there. Imran just a little bit too aggressive there. He didn't have to go that wide. There's plenty of space, and if he'd gone around the outside of Keith, he would have helped the inside for the next lap. So, yeah, so at the moment, Keith survives for now, but there's still so much time. Look at that, 6.5 minutes to go, Des. Can Keith Moe hold on to second place?
Well, it's the battle behind him which is interesting, because there's Zuhaili, but Chris Chu is behind him, and Chu himself is coming under pressure from John McGregor. Is that the father or the son? I can never remember.
John's the father.
John's the father. So Jack is way down the field at the moment in P13. So John is leading the McGregor clan as Azmi gets a slowdown penalty. But this is a good battle between Chris Chu and John McGregor. Yeah. Hayden Miller way in the distance. We saw him turning the corner just as everybody else came into this main straight. Let's see how Shafiq Danish is doing. Well, he's struggling still. John McGregor is P5. Is that you after?
Yep, that was me, sorry. I just wanted to get a quick glimpse of John McGregor. This is the battle of the veterans, isn't it? It's great to see. But yeah, that's good. Let's see how Grant Miller's got by Danish.
Shafiq, yes, he has.
Wow.
And Shafiq, the championship leader, is certainly going to find himself in a bit of problems here. P8 is still worth 8 points. But if Hayden Miller's going to pick up 25 and a fastest lap, as he does at the moment with a 150.6, he's going to pick up 25 points as well as 5 points for qualification. Suddenly Hayden Miller comes into championship contention.
That is very true. I mean, Hayden Miller, obviously, I think P4 in the championship right now, so that's going to be very handy for him. Of course, we might be speaking too early at the moment, but it looks close enough. Have to go back to the battle for second position, though. Look at that, Keith, and train of cars behind Keith. Oh, Mo gets a bit wide there. This defending is allowing Grant Miller's son, Hayden Miller, at the front to just pull away at the front.
It really is a story of the Millers, because Grant Miller, further back, he's under pressure now from Shafiq Danish. I think Shafiq realizes that his championship, which looked fairly secure last week, he's really under pressure now. It's only race 3 of the season, but if you're struggling race 1, it's sometimes difficult to get your mojo back for race 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously have the advantage of starting higher up for race 2, right, and winning that race, but you don't get as many points for race 2 as for race 1, so you still want to get the result in race 1, and Danish is not going to be pleased with this.
Azmi Arif in a drive-through penalty. Adam Kotrolachis down in P20. Sean O'Carroll, he's on his first season with us, privateer. He's down in P23. Juan Coco's had a miserable time down in P24, last out on the circuit. But Hayden Miller, a lead now of over 5 seconds with the fastest lap. 4 minutes to go. He's lapping 152, so we probably, as he goes over start-finish line, there may well be 3 laps to go, but if he controls this, he may well be able to finish this in the next 2 laps.
Yeah.
Hayden Miller leads the way. A comparative veteran to the man in P2, Keith Moe, at the age of 9. And Imran Zuhaili in P3 again. Another nice little drive from Imran Zuhaili. Malaysia 1, 2 and 3. Chris Chu and John McGregor not able to make any real headway there. And overtaking has been at a premium. Yeah,
it has. I mean, it is a little bit tricky at Hungary, but you really got to take your chances, don't you? I mean, we're watching Zuhaili right now. Zuhaili had 2 very good opportunities to get past Keith. Didn't quite make it. Maybe wasn't not decisive enough at the right time. And he's lost that opportunity now. I mean, still 2.5 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. But yeah, I mean, Keith's doing a great job of holding him off.
Good battle. Chris Chu behind him with John McGregor. That looks like Chris is consistently lapping well. He won his first ever race last week in the reverse grid, having been pretty good in race number 1. So he's an outside championship contender. Well, that's worth 13 points, isn't it? Chris is on 22.
And Zuhaili's all over the back of Keith Moe just now. Just had an opportunity. I think Keith had a bad exit, and I thought Zuhaili was going to get him for a second.
But also, Chris Chu's got right onto the back of Zuhaili.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like in a concertina effect with these guys. Someone makes a mistake, they all spread out, and then the guy at the front makes a mistake, and they all close up again.
But there hasn't been a lot of overtaking so far at the Hungaroring. No. What do these cars not get the slipstream in the same manner?
There is a slipstream, but it's not so big because the straights are not that long, you know, so you're not in the slipstream long enough really to get that much of an advantage.
This is one of the straights though. Let's see if there's a slipstream opportunity for Imran Zuhaili. He's right on the back of Keith Moe, but maybe not close enough. Chris Chu might get a double drag if he's good. Imran makes the move, but Keith is able just to close the door once again. We've seen him go around the inside a couple of times here, Imran Zuhaili. This is maybe where he sees the opportunity, and I think we are on the last lap now. Pretty sure that Hayden Miller went through with around about 150 on the clock. He's lapping 152, so this could well be the very last lap.
Could be indeed. So he only has really, I think he's run out of opportunities to do it. The last lap, there's nowhere really you can do it unless you can force the other guy into a mistake, and at the moment, Zuhaili's not close enough to Keith to pressure him.
Right, Shafiq Danish and Grant Miller, they've swapped positions once again. So Shafiq has earned himself another point at the moment. P7 is worth 9. He's looking to try to take Armand as well. So if he can get up to 10 points, that'll be a reasonable outing for Shafiq Danish, and probably will keep him at the top of the championship leaderboard, as Hayden gets a slow-down penalty for abuse of track limits. But Hayden is 5 seconds clear, so he can afford a slow-down penalty.
So it looks like, look at the batter in the background there. Keith Moe still just hanging on in P2. This is an opportunity here, but no, look, he just a little bit to the right there, trying to get the other driver not to have a look at it. Oh, so Keith needs to defend the inside here. No, he doesn't actually. Zuhaili was not close enough. Will he defend the last corner? I would always defend the last corner just in case, because he's going to have a look. Yeah, he does defend the last corner, but oh, there we go. Hayden takes his win, but let's go back to the batter for second position.
Hayden Miller takes the win. P2, Zuhaili has got through on Keith Moe right on the final corner, and Keith Moe will feel that he has been robbed just a little bit there. Imran Zuhaili nicks it on the final corner. Keith Moe, oh, have we? No, this is still going on. Still going on, Alex. We're not a checkered flag.
Wow, one more lap to go. Sorry, we got that wrong. So,
not Zuhaili. Okay, so it was close. It was mighty close. It must have been just a couple of seconds or so.
Oh, look like Keith Moe's going down the inside again. No, not able to hold it, but Zuhaili with a great move on that last corner of the previous lap, and he's holding on right now. Look, they're touching as they go through turn 3. And Moe just falls back a little bit. It looks like they're 3 wide, but you can't overtake through turn 4 here. Not possible. But Zuhaili does not get a good exit there through that corner.
Don't count Chris Chu out, you know, in P4. He's right on the back there of Moe, and John McGregor's come in. And I tell you, the gap at the front, Hayden slowed down to try to make it the race win. It didn't come off, and suddenly Hayden Miller has only got 1.3 seconds advantage. One mistake, and he could throw this race away.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, didn't he? He tried to slow it down so he didn't have to do an extra lap. Didn't slow it down enough, and now had to do an extra lap with everyone.
Wow, fabulous. So Hayden Miller leads. There he is. He's probably safe, But Imran Zuhaili in P2 nicked that on the penultimate corner of the final of the last lap that we thought was the last lap, but was actually the penultimate lap, just to be confusing. Keith Moe in 3, and Chris Chu is still battling in there. And John McGregor's not giving this one up either.
Yeah, no, he's still there. He's just watching the action, enjoying the action. But one more corner to go, I'm certain. Someone's just lagged out of the race there. But we go to the leader as he rides.
Oh, the front!
What's
Hayden
happened?
Miller! Big problem. Hayden Miller has lost it at the end. Imran Zuhaili from Keith Moe and Chris Chu, John McGregor. Hayden Miller will not finish. Oh, that is a nightmare for him. Imran Zuhaili takes the win. Look at the bottom right, little Keith Moe. Can't believe what's going on, but poor old Hayden Miller.
Wow, what
Alex
a shame.
Young.
Hayden, I don't know, it looks like he ran out of fuel maybe. I don't think he got disconnected. But yeah, it looked like he ran out of fuel.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, that's so tough on Hayden.
Yeah, because he's not even going to start at the front of for the reverse grid race now. He's going to drop all the way down. Grant Miller, his father, also dropped all the way down. So there must have been some action happening to the dad on that last lap as well. So it went from hero to zero for the Miller clan.
Literally, that is tough. But Imran Zuhaili, I tell you, Imran suddenly comes into the reckoning.
Yeah.
He did warn me not to count my chickens with Hayden Miller. He'll still get the fastest lap, but 2 points is no consolation compared to 27. And Imran Zuhaili moves on to 42 points for the season.
Hello?
Hello, who's this? Just going to try and mute everyone right now.
So Imran Zuhaili is the man who takes the victory. We're just waiting for confirmation because there was a lot going on that last lap. I'm pretty sure Hayden was trying his very, very best, maybe because of fuel reasons, to slow things down at the end of that previous lap.
Yeah, maybe they did the calculations, did not expect to do that extra lap, and just run out of fuel right at the end. Yeah, because both the Millers didn't finish that race, so I think they miscalculated the fuel.
So Zuhaili, Moe, Chu, McGregor, Danish Aram, he'll be happy because that's 11 points. That'll keep him close to Shafiq Danish, who picks up 10 points. So Shafiq will move on to 50 points for the season. And suddenly, this championship, which did look like Hayden Miller was going to get right in the middle of things.
Wow.
The Millers have disappeared.
Yeah, and that's going to be super disappointing for the young man. But that's motorsport as well, you know. That's what makes sports so beautiful. You can have these lows, and it can be devastating after all the practice you put in. But when you do win and it all comes together, it makes it ever so sweet.
So Hayden, tough luck, fella. Running out of fuel, we believe. It'd be good to find out. Maybe on Discord we'll have a discussion later on. But we are now getting ready for race number 2. The reverse grid is the top 15 in reverse order. That means Ronaldo Julie, who didn't impress in race number 1, I think Julie will be very near the top of the grid in race number 2. As we get ready, 5 seconds to count down. The front row of the grid will indeed read Heikel, Imran and John Harding, Ronaldo Julie on the second row of the grid. And I think we'll just keep with Ronaldo Julie to see what kind of a start he can get. Red lights, when they go off, we are underway. Heikel, Harding, Julie, Adam Kondrolochis, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And it's a good start from Heikel Imran. Indeed, everybody's got away nice and quickly. As they come down the hill, this is the first potential contact as Julie gets himself into P2, 3 abreast, and Julie goes from P2 to P6 because he was just forced wide. And Adam Kondrolochis has got himself into P2 behind John Harding.
Wow, good start by Kondrolochis. But yeah, Julie there, who's just watching that, you know, he can be very quick, but just sometimes gets involved in these first lap incidents, and he's getting swallowed by the pack right now. Sometimes you can be too conservative in the first couple corners, and it just ends up everyone mobs you. So you must not be too conservative. Oh, cars go everywhere at the back there.
Race 1 winner, Imran Zuhaili, way at the back now, 16th place. That is out of the points at the moment, but he's got an opportunity. He's got Adam Shafiq and Jaden Ung and Grant Miller ahead of him. Where is Hayden? So Hayden didn't have connectivity problems. It must have been fuel, Alex.
Yeah,
he must have run out of fuel.
And Hayden's had a great start. Look, he's gone from the very back up to P8, and there he is. You can see his face looks a bit red, so he's obviously been upset after the race 1. But he seems to have recovered okay and had a great start to go from the very back up to P8.
Well, P8 as he is at the moment, up at the front.
Down the inside.
Let's have a look at John Harding, because Kondrolochis is trying to get on the back of John Harding. And as in race number 1, the leading drivers, as everyone behind them is racing, Alex, the leading drivers have been able to pull away from everybody else.
Yeah, they have. But, you know, that's because everyone's racing so hard behind them. They will come closer again. But Harding, they're looking good right now. You've got Kondrolochis. Look who's up to that. Wow, Hayden Miller up to P4. Super aggressive. We'll have to see if it was legally super aggressive, but up to P4 from the young Scotsman.
Azmi Arifin and Armand Hashim are the ones who have been pushed away. Chris Chu again with another good race from Chu. He's in P7 at the moment, ahead of Heikel Imran, who started on pole. So the yellow car has gone backwards from P1 to P8 within the space of a lap and a couple of corners. Jack McGregor's in that little group as well. John Harding is still leading from Adam Kondrolochis, Ronaldo Julie, Hayden Miller, Armand Hashim, as Keith Moe gets a slow down penalty. Should we go and have a look at Keith Moe, Alex? Because at the moment, excuse the semi-pun, he's in P18.
Yeah, okay, slow down penalty. So, just getting involved in obviously some incidents there. Ooh, side by side, right now with, I think, Jaden Ung from Hong Kong. They're going to get squeezed, going to get a bit squeezy here, and just about make it through without any damage.
How about Shafiq Danish, the championship leader, having picked up a P5 in race number 1. He's down in P12 at the moment, just behind Grant Miller. That's Heikel Imran, who also started high up the grid, who's dropped right the way down. He's trying to make life difficult for the championship leader, Shafiq.
And then a little bit further in front of him, Imran Zuhaili there in P10, the white car. So he's had a decent couple first laps as well. Have to watch out the slowdown penalties. Hayden and Heikel getting slowdown penalties for track limits abuse.
Hayden got himself up into P3 ahead of Ronaldo Julie, but he does have that slowdown penalty for track limits abuse. He's clearly pushing it. He's clearly angry.
Yeah, driving angry. Sometimes anger can help. Sometimes it's the worst thing that can happen because you then start making mistakes.
But he's up into P2.
But he's got a little collision there with Kondrolochis. Kondrolochis takes back the position down the inside through the last corner.
Switchback.
Yes, Miller with the switchback. And they are side by side, and Hayden is in front. and up to P2.
Well, this is really good from Hayden Miller. So long as he's putting enough fuel in the car, he may well be able to finish this race.
Oh, defensive. Oh, that's weaving, mate. You could get a penalty for that. You only allowed one change of direction. That was two changes of direction. We'll see if Adam Kondrolakis protests that at the end of the race.
Well, at the moment, it's John Harding who's still leading the way. Stewart's decision, Heike Limmerman, slow down penalty, track limits abuse. Hayden Miller started right at the back. This is a phenomenal 3 laps that he's put in.
Good 3 laps. Still a long way to go, but he needs to keep calm because he's showing signs of being frustrated and driving not well, a bit poorly really with the racecraft. So he doesn't want to pick up penalties at the end of the race, obviously, so he has to try and keep it clean.
Championship leader, Sadanish Aram, a 007 on the side of his car. I like that one. Azmi Arafan in the green is the man just in front of him. Is Azmi with Stratos? I think he is.
No, I think it's a different Arafin, isn't it? The different Azmi. But you
okay.
might be right, he is not in a green. Yeah, he's in a green car.
Stratos Motorsports must be the same.
Must be the same.
Haven't seen Azmi for a little while, but he's in a battle here for P5. He's currently holding on to P5. Danish Aram, runner-up in second coming into today, is in P6 at the moment. Hayden Miller, look at this, Alex. Hayden Miller's now the new race leader. He's overtaken John Harding.
Right, okay, so he's got a bit of a gap there. And I saw a couple of questionable moves, so I think he really would be well advised to try and get a bit of a gap. Try and win this race by lots of seconds in case any penalties creep in later.
And fill the petrol tank.
And fill the petrol tank, absolutely.
Hayden Miller leads by 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Gosh, he's accelerated away.
Yeah.
So he was denied points, any points in race number 1, right on the final couple of corners. But here he's leading by 1.3 seconds from Harding. Kondrolakis is still holding on very nicely in P2. Good to see Adam Kondrolakis putting in a good effort. Very often he's amongst the also-rans, but to see him up near the top of the race is very good for him and for Malaysia.
As he runs a bit wide through turn 2, but absolutely. He is right in that sandwich, isn't he? Harding in front and Hashim right behind him, P4.
So Danish Aram has got himself ahead of Azmi Arafin as he just went off the track. So Azmi allowing Sadanish Aram, the Singaporean, to get through. And right behind them, Jack McGregor and Imran Zuhaili, winner of race number 1. Oh, sorry, I'll go back to that, because Sadanish is having a little bit of fisticuffs there with Azmi. Yeah. And look at that, Jack McGregor is just wanting a little bit of the action as well.
Yeah, just got a bit of contact there, has to watch out for that. And the cars in front of him, looks like Kondrolakis is losing position to Hashim. No, he's still holding on to P3 at the moment.
But Hashim is closing in, but Kondrolakis is going backwards. Fastest lap of the race so far is a 1:52.5, which is a long way down on where we were on race number 1, where we had cars in the 150s.
Yeah, I think it's because of all the traffic from the reverse grid race. Be interesting to see what Miller's time is, because he hasn't had a clean lap so far. But I'm pretty sure that fastest lap is going to disappear.
Okay. 2 seconds clear, 2.6 seconds clear. I think he's listening to you. Maybe he's taking advice. I do hope he's putting a petrol in. To do it once is careless, to do it twice. Hayden.
Well, across the line. Ooh, new fastest lap by Hayden Miller, 52.0.
52.0 from Hayden Miller. John Harding in the yellow in P2. Kondrolakis coming under pressure from Armand Hashim, but Armand Hashim coming a lot of pressure from Sadanish Aram, and Danish goes through, but that's nicely done by Armand. He knew that Danish wouldn't be able to brake quickly enough and just did the little switchback movement and retains P4.
Yeah, nicely done. But yeah, this is good for Danish Aram's championship, isn't it? If he can finish in the top 3, that'll be perfect, really, after what's actually been quite a difficult weekend for him.
Imran, okay, P1 in race 1, worked his way very neatly from P15 up to P7. We've still got nearly half the race to go.
Just run a bit wide there. It's going to allow Grant Miller down the inside, and Miller does look down the inside. Shoves his way through nicely, and that he'll say thank you very much for that.
Let's go on to P3. Kondrolakis is under increasing pressure as they come round the chicane at the top end of the circuit with their Hungaroring. It's round 2, race 2 of the eRGP Global Edition Copper class. Ooh, who was that running off, sir? Danish was trying to use the green stuff to get on the inside, and instead he's lost a bit of time. Kondralottis able to hold on. He's defending pretty well, is Adam Kondralottis, but you do feel it might just be a matter of time before Armand is able to make a move. Armand cuts on the inside. Kondralottis takes the inside track, and Armand is forced onto the green grass.
Yeah, and look at that, Danish Aram there looking to try and get by. I thought he was going to make a move there, but because Hashim there looked like he made a mistake. Oh, he has made a mistake. Look at that. So Danish Aram's going to try and go around the outside of Hashim right now, and looks like he's not able to do it. But he's got the slipstream now. He's got to look at turn 1, and look at that. Hashim's defending the inside right now, defending the inside nicely. So Aram goes to the outside, switch back to the inside. Nice move. Textbook move. Oh, they both run wide though. Yeah, that's a bit too late in the brakes.
I think they were both looking at each other, maybe in the wing mirror there, and they forgot they've got to put brakes on at the corner.
Yeah.
As they come down that hill. And what it meant is that Jack McGregor is right in that battle, and so is Grant Miller. So again, the Millers are making the headlines. They made them for completely the wrong reasons in race number 1. But this time they're making them for the right reasons. Again, it's Hayden who leads the way. It's Grant who's in P6, but desperately chasing Sir Danish Aram for P5. Although he's under pressure there from Jack McGregor. The two old boys having another little meeting of minds once again.
Yeah, they seem to come together. Chris Chu, though, down in P17, he's not having a good race at the moment. Must have been involved in some sort of collisions or fisticuffs that we missed off track. But yeah, Shafik Danish there. Looking good there, P10. He's not going to be happy with that, is he?
No, not at all. He's got Ronaldo Julie ahead of him. This has not been a good round 2 for the championship leader coming in. My word, short seasons, you just cannot afford to have bad weeks. You cannot afford mistakes. Hayden Miller's made one today. Surely he's not going to make another one now. 4 minutes left. Where is he in the circuit? Are we...
Last corner.
So last corner. So there will be 2 laps after this.
2 laps after this. He still needs to try and get a bit of a gap, I reckon. He's 5 seconds in front. But just in case any penalties come in, he wants to try and make sure he has definitely at least 5 seconds over P2.
It is a big lead he's got. John Harding in P2. Kondralottis is there. Armand is under pressure from Danish. Danish trying to move into P4. Armand defends on the inside as they come down this hill. And look at that. Grant Miller is working hard behind them as well. Miller goes around the outside. Danish tries to go on the inside. No change, but still Miller is working hard to get into there. Kondralottis is working very hard to get on the back of John Harding as well. Tell you what, these positions, if they remain the same, it'll be quite incredible because there's so much racing going on.
Yeah, it is. Lots of good racing there. That's some really hard good racing there. You know, it is tough to overtake here, and you have to have a little bit of a shove to try and get through. And don't forget, in eRacing GP, we do allow a bit of contact. As long as it's not enough contact to move your rival offline. If you hit someone and he moves you offline, that's going to be deemed as too much, and you'll get a penalty for sure.
Imran Zuhaili, one race won, only P8 at the moment, which is only worth 3 points in race number 2. So that won't please him too much. To go from 25, I suppose it's still a good weekend if you're picking up 25, making it 28 and picking up points in qualification as well. But you'd like to get up into the 40s if you want to be a championship contender. Imran needs to work very, very hard. Good battle still ongoing here between Danish and Jack McGregor.
Yeah, Danish there still holding on at the moment. But yeah, Jack McGregor's looking quite feisty, isn't he? That looks like he wants that position. Jack, the younger of the 2 McGregors. He's always good in the reverse grid races. It's almost like he doesn't practice enough, and only by race 2 does he look like he's gotten into the track in the car.
We've had a number of casualties. 6 guys have dropped out of the race, but this man, Hayden Miller, it's almost a race of his. Look at that. It's almost the full straight. The full opening straight. 134 left. This will be his last lap.
Yeah.
This time, assuming he's put petrol in, he will win the race.
That's right. And he's got a 7-second lead right now. I'd feel more comfortable with a 10-second lead in case of protest, but he'll hold on to that. And then P2, John Harding still holding on just from Adam Kondralottis. Great battle between Kondralottis and Grant Miller there right now. the father of Hayden. Oh, he's had contact on the grass. Is he able to hold on? Yes.
Adam Kondrolochis. I can't recall Adam picking up a podium position before in the 6 previous seasons of eRacing GP. He's raced a lot, but this is an opportunity, a real opportunity for Adam Kondrolochis as he closes up on John Harding to pick up what I think will be his best finish. As Imran gets a slow down penalty. Don't talk too quickly about Adam Kondrolochis though, because Grant Miller, as they come through the chicane at the top end of the circuit, is trying to put pressure on the Malaysian-based Kondrolochis.
Yeah, Kondrolochis, it looks like he's done a really good job. He looks like a bit of a gap there. Grant's made a couple key mistakes, and now he looks like he's going to have to hold on from Jack McGregor. Jack's all over the back of him though. But Grant's got the speed, just a couple of mistakes at the key points in this race, and it's allowing him to drop back a bit. Oh, McGregor though, down the inside. Nicely done by Jack, and Jack holds on to the position.
Jack holds on to P4. Hayden Miller comes through this time. No mistakes from Hayden Miller, and having been on that corner in the lead in race 1 and not finishing here, Hayden Miller takes the checkered flag with petrol in the tank, and that is a really satisfied little smile from Hayden Miller. One of relief, yeah, absolutely one of relief there. Alex Young, he came from a long way down as well, so that's a top drive from Hayden.
Absolutely, really top drive. He would have to deal with the disappointment, obviously, race 1, and to almost win the first race, you know, I can remember losing a win on the last lap as well. It is absolutely crushing. So for him to go ahead and somehow recover, let's see if we can try and chat to him a bit. See if we can talk to Hayden Miller. See if he's unmutes his mic, and we'll try and get to him. If we can get the camera, of course. I think he's a bit of a mess right now. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can try and talk to Hayden. Hayden, congrats on the win.
Not you, hearts. Not you.
Yeah, well done on the win. What happened in race 1? We have to know.
So race 1, on the final lap, ran out of fuel.
Whoops.
So, literally coming around the last lap, it started jittering. And the last one kind of ran out of fuel.
Okay. Well, never mind. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
It's a good day for the Miller family. So Hayden with the victory, as we suspected. He came out, he lost that because of petrol problems. Chris Chu with the fastest lap, so that's a good performance from Chris Chu, even though he didn't pick up many points. But wow, okay, so running out of fuel, Alex, even at the age of 14, pretty unforgivable, huh?
Wow, it's like it's second race weekend ever for the Miller clan, so I'm not surprised they're making those sort of errors. I wonder who made that call for the fuel, though. But yeah, it happens. They'll learn from it. The important thing is to learn how to recover from adversary, you know, because this is what happens in motorsports. Des, you know this, you know, it can be crushing when this happens to you, and it's how you recover from that and get over it, which is important. And I think Miller got over that pretty good, didn't he?
That was a heck of a response. Heck of a response. Once he got into the lead as well. There may well be protests. So it's not a confirmed win. We'll find out about that. What's the rule? That the guys have got half an hour to put a protest in? Is that how you're working?
That's right. The protest window closes half an hour after the end of race 2 where the results come up. So I'm sure that, as usual, there will always be a couple of protests. And we'll, whatever the protests, the drivers will learn from it.
Okay, so the Copper Edition is finally poised after 2 of 3 rounds. Hayden Miller certainly puts himself back into the championship equation. My rough calculation says that Shafiq Danish is losing the lead to Sir Danish Aram, but we will confirm that on the Facebook pages. You're watching eRacing GP Global Edition Copper class. In just a short while, we'll be back with the Bronze class.